Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. So, a lot of changes are being made. Oh wow, the Trump administration, tariffs, the stock market. I'm going to say this real quick about the stock market, and I'll Patreon. I'm going to go ahead and uh, try and get to not today, tomorrow. Do share one more options play. It cost me $29, and we're going to go over that ticker on Patreon. Okay, so just to give you an idea. Um, the tariff's been paused for 90 days. That tells me if you can make some money, fine, it'd be great. But when they get closer and closer about the tariffs, might be time to do some puts. Some good companies may go on sale, time to gobble them up and hopefully make some money in the future as a long-term investor. Okay, so enough of that. But Section A, let me go ahead and play this. And I was talking with a friend of mine. I said, listen, I understand the tariffs. I said, but here's the problem. When you're going so hard so quick and the economy is really bad, the economy is bad. When your middle class is complaining about what? Food prices. Not, oh my goodness, I can't go on my Disney vacation this year. The cruise, we can't go. No, people are complaining about just the basics of surviving. Okay? So, under Section 8, major changes are coming, are here. At some point in time, just my thinking, you had to know this day would come. But I think now to have the people that are on these programs to expect them to deal with the changes and to go out there and, make some happen, I just don't think it's realistic. This, I think we're about to see more homelessness. Okay. So here's a news report I wanted to share with. Let's listen to this. Okay. That could affect people using Section 8 housing programs. Voucher holders locally have received letters warning them of federal funding being halted and potential rent increases. Western Mass News reporter Matt Price did some digging for us on this, and he joins us live from downtown Springfield with more. Matt?
Chris, this just adds to the drama of so much uncertainty many face across this country. That includes those who rely on these vouchers for safe and affordable housing. On March 13th, the Commonwealth's Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities sent a letter to Section 8 voucher holders, warning them that their rent in the next year or two might go up because of, quote, rising costs and insufficient federal funding. And the agency will have to stop its flexible tenant policies. Here's some of what is stated in this letter obtained by Western Mass News this afternoon. It says, quote, unfortunately, we can no longer afford to offer many of these special policies to our participants, and will have to return to using many of the same policies that most other housing authorities use. The letter goes on to say, we understand that will increase costs for many households, but we made these choices to ensure that our program can serve as many households as possible given limited federal funding. Now, for context, here are some of those policy changes. EOHLC will no longer pay for a household security deposit, no more earned income deduction in rent calculation, no utility allowances for hot water and cooking, no extra grace period for lower payment standard changes, and $480 of a full-time student's income will be counted. Advocacy groups are keeping their eyes on these recent developments, including Arise for Social Justice here in Springfield. Housing and economic justice advocate and organizer Liz Busey says these changes will have a strongly negative impact and fears current Section 8 voucher holders are scared and are currently looking for other resources to survive.
30 days notice is not enough to try and supplement your income. And supplementing your income is going to get you in trouble because you can't, not legally anyways. And so people are going to be suffering left and right. They're already looking for food pantries. Wow. I've had 3 calls about whether we have any utility money to help people pay, and that's just this morning.
Busey says this move could also mean an increase in evictions and homelessness. She also tells us the number of people sleeping in cars at the moment is going up. Right now, Arise for Social Justice is collecting tents in case people need to sleep outside, and they are collecting information about services in the area.
30 days. If the middle class and self-sufficient cannot find employment, people with master's degrees can't find employment. What do you think is going to happen to a person who's making below the threshold to afford market rate rent. They're going to go out there and go find a second job. Are we really kidding ourselves? It's not going to get any easier. And I don't foresee an influx of cash coming in. Even that, look, listen to that with Doge. When they talk about those $5,000 payments, you do understand that those are to people that pay federal income tax, which most of us do. Some of us, we pay in. But the people that's going to need the $5,000 the most may not get it, because how the way their taxes are structured. I didn't know they were saying like a certain amount of people don't pay federal income tax. That $5,000 could be a lifesaver. But guess what? They're saying, hey, if a person doesn't pay federal income tax, they're not going to. So it's not going to be what they're proposing. The last information that I read, they're not saying like it's going to be, a stimulus check and everybody's going to get one. Hell, the first time I couldn't get one. So keep in mind, it's not structured to be what they're saying, like a stimulus check. It's like saying, oh yeah, if you don't pay federal income tax, then guess what? You're not going to get it. Well, guess what? Those people are going to be the ones that need it the most. So now, if a person can't get the security deposit and they're going to have to pay more rent, you've got 30 days to make a life change. It's not possible. So what do I see? I will say for most, I don't see it being possible. So what's going to happen? More evictions. More evictions. More people that are homeless. And I don't see it's going to be a quick turnaround. If that's the case, and all the companies laying off, I'm sorry to say, some people will be able to navigate this and survive. I don't think everybody can. Some will be able to navigate, but I don't see everybody. Oh, it's going to be fine. I don't think so. Me, and I'm not one of the persons to like kid myself. Not gonna be a problem. It's gonna be okay. I don't see that happening. This administration is more geared toward, I think, the stock market. Notice two things. Let's be realistic. The stock market and poor people do not mix. Two different worlds. Ergo, painful to say, don't think anyone's concerned. That's what the powers that be are concerned. I had a person say to me, we were having a discussion, and he said, of course, he's wealthy. Well, those people, the least little bump would happen, they would have been in the streets anyway. Huh. Again, the stock market and poor people, two different worlds. Kind of hard to invest when you're trying to find a place to live, food to eat. So they have sent out letters letting you know they're not even, even the help with what do you call this, utilities, that is going to be adversely affected. Help with utilities is going to be affected. The rent deposit. And you did say 30 days, excuse me? 30 days? So where are they going to find an extra job? You got educated people making six figures working in a warehousing jobs. And some jobs, they don't even pay enough money. We're having that discussion, and I said to a person, it's interesting how you want somebody to take this low paying job, of course, as a business owner. But what the heck is it going? What is the idea of going to work and you can't, and you're going to be living evicted anyway? You can't afford a place to live, but you want somebody to come to your company and work so hard. Are you kidding me? What's the use? So Americans, the people don't want to work. No, they want to work and live, be able to have a livable wage. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Oh, you can work two jobs and go sleep in your car. What do you think is going to happen? Women with families. Hence, don't care to see the poverty D. So now we're going to have families. I'm telling you, this right here with just the Section 8 changes alone. So now you got all these layoffs, a whole lot of massive layoff, job eliminations with no work replacement. Where's the replacement income going to come from? So now you're going to have your educated, your middle class, the working class, and poor, everybody looking for a job opportunity that is not there. And the help, I mean, you just massively, to be honest with you, just put more people on the streets, and that's what it is. You're basically, from the way I see it, you are just putting more people on the streets.
We can no longer afford to offer many of these special policies to our participants, and will have to return to using many of the same policies that most other housing authorities use. The letter goes on to say, we understand that will increase costs for many households, but we made these choices to ensure that our program can serve as many households as possible given limited federal funding.
So how are they supposed to make a life change in 30 days? So the rent is going to increase. People are already dealing with the increase in food and gasoline, inflation. The rent is going to increase. And then what? Oh, if you can't pay it, you know what's what? You know what's next. You know what's next. Oh, well, if you can't pay, you're gonna have to go. So more families and homeless. And I thought about that. Do you understand how important it is for people to have a home? I don't care if it's a one box bedroom home or a manufactured home or 3,000 square feet. If it's a 800 square foot home, you know how important that is to have housing. At the end of the day, to wake up in your own bed, the things that you love, surround you. That is so important. It enhances your peace from the outside world, your respite, a place to go. How important that is to have shelter. It can have a calming effect. Your bed, your seats, your sofa, your chair, your linens, your art. You know how important that is? So not to have it is also very dangerous. You can't have that peace of mind in a vehicle. I just don't see it. And some people manage to, and good for them. So what does this do? This is now going to bring on more poverty, more homelessness, and more, I think, mental anguish, emotional problems. Might come up with for a little bit, but to make it a way of life, not everybody is suited and booted. This will impact the elderly even. Look on the screen. This will impact the elderly. You already have some now saying, I've heard this for decades and it's just crazy. How in the heck still having to choose between medicine and food? So this right here, yeah, it's going to cause more homelessness. Where are the jobs? The idea of getting the second job to replace it is not even possible. And especially when you have women with children. The village, good luck with that. Then it's not going to help with the utilities. Not going to help with the utilities. So it sounds like someone can be in an apartment, don't have necessary water or heating that you need. That's uncomfortable. And understand in some places, guess what? In some places like that, guess what? They can evict you. Oh, you don't have any water or any lights in your place. Oh, sorry, that is a violation of your lease. So these changes, all I can say, these changes are going to lead to more poverty, trust and believe, more homelessness. And do you think the powers that be don't know it? Do you really think the powers that be don't know it? Of course. It just tells me they're not concerned. So, yeah, this is what you have to look forward to. We're going to have more people homeless. And what are the odds that, oh my, they're going to turn around and feel so bad and go ahead and get more funding to help these people? Look what's happening, my gosh, in North Carolina with FEMA. The request for funding, I read a report, has been rejected. FEMA been dismantled, so now the states are handling it. Life in this country is getting harder and harder. That is why we say don't carry the seed of poverty deed. Make wise decisions. Life is business. You don't have to agree. You're gonna learn today. Look what's going on. Look at what is going on. So what are people supposed to do? Oh, go get a second job. Some people can't even get one. Leave your kids at home alone. And my concern is this is going to have a major adverse effect on the elderly and also mothers with children. What's next? Cutting the daycare too? So this is where we are. This right here, the changes in the voucher, the affordability, the cutbacks, less federal funding, you can just pretty much be guaranteed you're going to have more homeless people in the streets. Anyway, this is sad. Let me know what you all think. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share, and I'm out.